I'm VGRetro. Do I need to say anything else? Well, Merry Christmas everyone! Wow, I really didn't know what to review this year. I mean, I haven't really got that many Christmas games, so I've decided to come up with something new. Playing a game that I love to play around this seasonal holiday. And I think I found a game. Ristar for the Sega Mega Drive. This is a game that well and truly deserves a review, so let's jump right in.
Now before we get started, I just want to let you all in on a little history lesson. That is for those of you who don't know the story behind this character's development. So let's go back to 1991, the year of Sonic the Hedgehog. In his original design, Sonic was to be called Mr. Needlemouse, and he was supposed to be a rabbit with ears that could extend in order to pick up objects, attack enemies, and so on. But after a while, the Sonic team leader Yuji Naka later came up with the idea for Sonic that we know today. That isn't to say that the Needlemouse concept was forgotten. In fact, this character's design was given separate development, and in time, the extending ears became arms, and the character became a star, travelling from planet to planet using his arm-stretching power to battle his enemies. Thus, Ristar was born. His development history has since allowed the character to be very much associated with Sonic, in the sense that Sonic Mega Collection, the GameCube compilation of classic Sonic games, features Ristar as a bonus game, along with the game Flicky. I won't go into that, as its relationship with the Blue Hedgehog franchise is somewhat obvious. Now here's the story of the game. An evil space pirate, Kaiser Greedy, is taking control of the planet leaders and is enslaving the people of each world. He has also captured a being known as the legendary hero, which pretty much leaves the solar system helpless. Or does it? In a desperate plea for help, the planet leaders succeed in summoning Ristar, the son of the legendary hero. Just look at him, that spells Sonic character all over him.
Now at this point, I should start to play the game. But listen to what Ristar says when you press the start button.
Play with me.
Am I the only one who finds that bit a little teeny weeny bit creepy?
Play with me.
I feel very freaked out now.
In any case, after that
Play with me.
moment, we go into the game. Here's level 1, Planet Flora. Well, usually I'd go straight to discussing the controls, but there is no need. You jump with C, and you grab things with B. It's that simple. Grabbing enemies is cool. He gets a hold of them and headbutts them. That's awesome, and a little hardcore considering it's coming from a character that says,
Play with me.
but with that said, I don't like Ristar's sense of child's play. He wants to play, and when you accept, he headbutts your soul out of your body? No thanks! Anyway, with this grabbing move, you can also climb ladders, climb across frames, swing on poles, and if you're a little impatient, you can climb walls by headbutting them. Boy, Ristar's got no limits. Also, if you headbutt the wall in certain places, you can cause special items such as extra lives to fall from the top of the screen. You can even use it to grab enemies in order to cross obstacles like spikes and pits. You can find chests throughout the levels, which contain items like jewels and stars. Jewels give you extra points, and stars replenish your health. You can also find blue stars which completely refill your energy. Now let's discuss enemies. You have blue orb-like things which either float or bounce around, you have birds which attack you in specific patterns, and you also have a rabbit that uses its ears to attack you?
What does that remind you of?
That's actually quite funny, because it's like they put the character of Mr. Needlemouse in the game as an enemy. Is he actually called Needlemouse? Well, he should be. Well, I could say so much about how great this game is already. I mean, it's absolutely packed with stuff to make you feel good. You know, all these enemies, these controls, simple yet effective. Not to mention there are so many things you can do by merely tapping the B button. Seriously, this game is perfect! Right, I believe I've mentioned everything except for the star handle. You grab a hold of this and spin round and round. The faster you spin, the higher you'll go. If you stay on long enough to start releasing sparkly blue stars, you can fly like a shooting star for a short period of time. These star handles are the main tool for getting around the game, as you'll find them at the end of each level as well. If you can leave the level at a good height, you'll earn extra points. You can also find bonus star handles, which transport you to a bonus stage where you have to perform a certain task in order to get the treasure, with it being operating one or many star handles, climbing walls, or swimming. There are 12 treasures to find, and if you're lucky enough to collect all of them, you are given passwords at the end of the game, such as level select, time attack, and so on. There are 3 acts for each planet, and within each of the first acts there is a mini-boss at the end. Here we have a giant snake. It's incredibly easy. Act 2 is a little harder. We have more enemies to fight, including lizards, orbs and cocoons, and bat enemies that drop spike balls. It's a fairly straightforward level, with some funny moments. For example, here's one of them where you have to knock down this tree. Ristar looks at what he's done as though almost to say, "Did I do that?" It's kind of cute, yet really funny at the same time. Now, about the bonus handle. Well, I think I'll skip telling you the whereabouts of these items. You guys want to know where they are? You better go look for them yourselves. Sorry, but I can only spoil so much. Okay, now we're going to go into Act 3, the first major boss of the game, Riho. Riho is a monkey-like enemy that sits on the back of the leader of Planet Flora. To attack him, you have to hit the leader enough times to cause Riho to fall from him. You have to do this 3 times, and each time you hit him, his attack changes along with his colour. Once you've beaten him, you have to grab the star handle in order to zoom off to the next planet awaiting your services. The boss battles are awesome in this game. They have 2 different musical themes, and my favourite is the music just before you face him. Seriously, that's awesome. Anyway, here we are in level 2, Planet Undertow. This level is awesome because of only one thing. It's a water level, and I love water levels. Here, you have to get across the pools and swim through the reefs while battling electric jellyfish, fish that hop around, lobsters, and eels. It's a tough level, so don't go rushing right into it without thinking it through. You're only going to get killed. The mini-boss is interesting. There is a wave in the background, and it drops 3 simple enemies to attack you. There are 3 different waves, each with a different kind of enemy. First there's orbs, then there's fish that spit projectiles, and finally we have the jellyfish. After this we take the star handle to the next level. The next level is a load of fun. We're in a form of temple ruin, and we have to defeat certain enemies in order to access other parts of the temple. These consist of blue circular statues that release enemies every so often, that consist of seahorse-like creatures and little frog-like things. You also have these parts with 3 little shrimps that after you destroy, you will have to kill a giant one. The planet boss is called Osat, and he's a hammerhead shark who stays in the background for a time until he comes after you. When he does, give him a whack. He's not too difficult, but the rockfall can be annoying. The next level is Planet Scorch, and, well, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? It's a fire level, and a great one at that. You have to avoid some rather creative traps that the enemy orbs have for you, like cages and fire jets. There are lots of fire pits to escape from too, so you'd better be careful. The mini-boss is what I believe to be the second most annoying mini-boss in the game. It's basically a memory game where you have to hit the right enemies in the right order in order to proceed. The first part numbers the enemies, the second part is the same, but after showing you, the numbers disappear, and then the third part has no numbers at all. All you can do is pay attention. The next level is like a big factory, and like before, you have to avoid the enemy's traps. Nothing too special, so there's nothing much to say. Now for Adahan, the level 3 boss. He's probably the best boss in the game in my opinion. He pops out of the ground and hurls a wave of sand towards you. After a couple of hits, the ground disappears, and you have to give him a whack whilst falling through the air. It's awesome stuff. Planet Sonata is the 4th level of the game, and it's basically a music level. And the objective is to find these radio-like objects and take them to these depressed birds. Upon hearing the music, they will become happy and allow you to proceed. There are 4 radios and 4 birds, and in order to reach the end, you have to get the radios to the birds. It's pretty complicated as there are many things to do in order to get the radios through, like placing them on propellers, allowing claws to pick them up, and eliminating any orbs in your way. During the level, you will notice these giant robot birds that attack you. Well, these also appear at the end, as the mini-boss. At the top of the screen, a bird is playing music, which causes these birds to start attacking you. They're fairly simple to defeat. The second